Okay. So, I mean, you lost me at hunting dog, and then it never came back.
Jerry Jones' communication strategy is about vibes. Yeah. You don't have to actually say anything.
It's about volume. Yeah. That's what it is. It's about quantity of words.
Wait, we must acknowledge the geometric shape that Marcus has somehow managed to put himself into at our desk. Marcus, what did you take from that?
He's just the worst ththing to happen for him.
He's
the worst thing to happen for him.
Why?
Why would you bring up championship teams? Yeah. Why would you even bring that up? Like, I get Jerry is the greatest marketer in football, right? We understand, but this ain't the time for that. Why are you talking about a team with like 12 Hall of Famers on it? And you start seeing things come together. They beat Tampa. Great. Tampa was terrible all year long. All right. Here you go into a week where you say, here's what I would like him to say. We need to lock in. We need to get these guys rest. We need to lock in on the San Francisco 49ers. We're gonna go try to win one more game. But Jerry ain't gonna say that. He gonna say this. So Greeny can come on Get Up and talk about, he compared them to the 93 Super Bowl team.
Yes.
And he think they can be that good. And G, I know, I feel your energy. That's why I'm glad I'm in New York, because it's perfect for you. And I just hate the fact that now the pressure. Here comes the pressure. Just like we talked about last week with Mike McCarthy. Why Mike McCarthy's job was up for discussion? Because of Jerry Jones. Had nothing to do with Mike McCarthy and what he's proven. Now we're about to be talking about the 95 and the triplets and Troy and Emmett and Troy. And do you realize that team had Larry Allen on it?
Yeah.
That team had guys on that team went to the Hall of Fame. Like literally got gold jackets. These dudes just trying to figure out who their number 2 and 3 receiver was 3 weeks ago.
Here's what I love about Jerry Jones is that
I know you do.
He is just like me. He overreacts so much to everything that happens. He watched that game last night, and I watched that game last night, and both of us had the same thought. We're winning the Super Bowl. We are winning the Super Bowl this year. And he thought it, and I thought it. I picked San Francisco to win the Super Bowl when the playoffs began. I changed my mind in the second quarter last night. I'm with you, Jerry. I feel you.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I slightly disagree with Marcus is they're used to it. This is how Jerry's always been. When Dak was born, Jerry was doing this. So, like, this is not going to.
Well, you played for him.
Yeah, this is not going to make anybody in that building.
No, Foxy.
It's not going to make anybody in that building uncomfortable. They'd be surprised if Jerry came out there and was, like, tempered in his remarks.
That would worry them.
Oh, are we about to get fired? They about to clean house?
What do you mean, Jerry said no comment? Now, that's scary. Right?
That's a lot scarier than him comparing him to an all-time great team. You know, Greeny, you talk about keeping that same energy?
Yeah.
Making me feel better.
Jerry going to keep that same energy.
That's correct.
Maybe I'm too civilized.
Yeah.
Me, of all people.
You are too civilized.
My issue with it, from an analytical standpoint, that's not what this team is doing. Yeah. Right? This team is not building. Like, they were horrendous last week.
Right.
Like, they play a really great game, then they play like 3 or 4 kind of lousy ones, and they play another really great game. So what he's describing is not what his current team is actually doing.
Does it make any difference? If you're Mike McCarthy, if you're Dak Prescott, I mean, at some point, I almost do think it goes one ear and out the other.
Yeah. It's just building. It's the cost of doing business. It's the Dallas Cowboy tax. When you sign up for it, there's a lot of great things, and you just know after the game, plus or minus, whatever, you're just building it into the week.
Okay, so let me get to something next. I'm going to do what you guys always do. I'm going to say, Hembo sent me a stat.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and it is this. Dallas is playing a road game on 5 days rest against the 49ers, who have 7 days rest. Teams with that profile, going back to 1978, are 9-24. For the record, Mike McCarthy coached in 2 of them. He's 1-1. They beat Atlanta in this circumstance in 2010. They lost to Arizona in 2015. I will also just point out, just because it seems worth saying out loud, that as the Giants play the Eagles this weekend, the Eagles have a far bigger rest advantage. Right. But what they don't have is the same level of short week that the Cowboys have.
Right. That stat, probably most of those teams with 7+ have 14, right? Because you're talking about bye teams. Right. This is a unique circumstance where the Niners didn't have a bye but played 2 days earlier than the Cowboys did. So, yeah, it favors them.
I must ask the players here. Dominique Foxworth, I mean, now let's get serious. How much of a difference do you think that makes in the game on Sunday?
I think it makes a difference. It's the end of the season. Everybody's hurting. This a little bit of extra rest does mean a lot, but I think it means more from a strategic standpoint because I believe the 49ers suspected that the Cowboys were going to win, and as soon as their game was over, DeMeco Ryans and Kyle Shanahan started cooking up. already for the Cowboys, and that advantage may be the difference in this game because they have the extra time, and we already know that both of that offense and defense are incredibly well coached, not just because they come up with good schemes, because their players don't make mistakes. And we talk about coaching as what it means in the game, in-game decisions. Most of the coaching happens during the week. They don't make a whole lot of mistakes. They make big plays when you need it. They're calm and focused group, and they're versatile. Like, these are things that come with having smart players and coaching them well, and that advantage matters.
All right, so Marcus, then let me give you another one here, okay? So we all understand. You said earlier this morning the 49ers are the NFL's juggernaut. No one can disagree with that. They haven't lost in 2.5 months.
NFC.
The NFC is juggernaut. Well, frankly, they've been hot. Well, Cincinnati, I guess, has been that level of hot as well. Either way, the point of it is this. Since Brock Purdy became their quarterback, and everyone loves the story, including me, the teams they have beaten are Tampa, the Seahawks twice, the Commanders, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. Those teams are a combined 14 games under 500, and 3 of them rank 25th or worse on defense. Does that matter, Marcus?
Gee, if it was anybody else, I would say yes. But it's the San Francisco 49ers, and we know what this team has the ability to do. Everything they do from an offensive and defensive perspective travels. It don't matter who they playing against, because a lot of it is tied to how they scheme teams up, coming off what Foxy just said. And then getting the ball in dynamic playmakers' hands. Debo Samuel don't care if it's the Cowboys or the Eagles or the Kansas City Chiefs. Christian McCaffrey with an open hole, it don't matter who you're playing against. And usually they get to those things. Remember, this team is also very veteran-laden when it comes to guys that's been in this position. Trent Williams on the outside, ain't nothing gonna be new to him. This offensive line got some issues when Brock Purdy has to drop back and just stand in the pocket, but how often does he have to do that? So I don't attribute what the San Francisco 49ers do against lesser opponents like I would any other team in the league.
Mike T.
Yeah, the big X factor in this game is the Dallas offense against the 49er defense. If they could score and score consistently, and at some point Brock Purdy has to go make a play in the fourth quarter, drive the ball down the field outside the numbers, we haven't seen him do that, Grady, because of the list you just named. So to me, we got to see Brock Purdy, for them to win a championship, he has to make championship throws. To their credit, they haven't had to do that quite yet.
For whatever it is worth, our analytics, our football power index, with whom, again, Marcus has a complicated relationship, they favor the Cowboys. They like Dallas better than the 49ers. And it is also telling that with this advantage in rest and playing at home, the 49ers only open as a 4-point favorite. That is not a big number in this game at all.
Because the Cowboys are very good and can score a lot of points. They also have shown this year that they're mistake prone. And if they start turning it over and committing penalties, they are done. The Seattle Seahawks had a 1-point lead at halftime on the 49ers on Saturday. They had not committed a single penalty, and they hadn't turned the ball over. That all changed in the second half, and they got blown out. I'm not saying Dallas gets blown out, but if they make mistakes in this game, then it will be all San Francisco.
And the way Seattle got that lead was big shots to DK Metcalf. The same thing Dallas could do, big shots to